Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get into my thoughts and a full review of the new Giorgio Armani Beauty Neo Nude Foundation. This just launched on the Giorgio Armani website, which is where I bought it. Let's see, I got this probably about 2 weeks ago, and then it launched on the Sephora website. It looks like there's a lot of shades that have already sold out on the Sephora website, but this retails for $40. You get just over 30 mils, so you actually get 35 milliliters for this. It's definitely a lot cheaper than the Luminous Silk. I have actually been wearing this for several days. I wore it all weekend long. Today is probably, I think, the 5th day that I've worn it. So throughout the review, I will obviously apply it on camera. I will do a midday check-in and also a 12-hour check-in so you guys can see how the foundation kind of starts to break down. So it's an ultra lightweight skincare infused foundation that delivers a natural healthy glow, all-day hydration, and light buildable coverage. It is claiming to be a light coverage natural finish. It is for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin. It is the no makeup hydrating formula that offers light buildable coverage with a breathable texture. It's formulated with skin-loving ingredients like hyaluronic acid and glycerin that delivers all-day hydration, while emollient oils and pure pigments bring comfort and coverage to reveal naturally beautiful skin. So this foundation comes in, it looks like 24 shades. It might have more, but on the Sephora website, they have 24 shades. I actually chose shade 6.5. And up here on the screen are swatches of this Neo Nude in 6.5 next to the Giorgio Armani in the Luminous Silk Foundation in 7.5 and also 5.5. So the 6.5 is right in between those two. I hope that this swatch is helpful if you guys are close to my skin. Now, I am a medium with like a golden undertone. This shade is a little bit light for me, just a little bit. It almost turns a little bit gray when I put it on, and then it finally starts to warm up. Like once I put some bronzer and stuff on, you really can't tell. I would probably need a darker shade for me personally, especially with summer coming around. This might be a foundation I would probably get in maybe 7.5. I am 40 years old. I have dry, normal skin. Right now, my skin is starting to get a little bit more normal. During the winter is when I'm the most dry. So I would say right now, my skin is in a normal state. I like a natural, fresh looking foundation. Now, I have worn this with and without powder, and I have wore it without primer. I've wore it with primer. I've wore it alone without any powder over top. I've wore it with powder. I have applied it with my fingers. I have applied it with a brush. I've applied it with a sponge. So I've really tested it and really got to know the foundation, which is what I like to do. I like to really get to know foundations before I come on camera and talk about them. After we get through the application, I will come back for a midday check-in, show you guys how this is looking in natural lighting, and then I will come back later on this evening after wearing it for 12 hours and give you guys my final thoughts. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the application. Okay, so let's start putting on this foundation. So I've already applied my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Now, the way I like to apply foundation is I like to put like an even thin layer all over the face. Then I like to push it into the skin with a sponge just to give it that sponge finish. We all know the sponge finish is so pretty. I'm gonna put some here on the back of my hand. Just gonna start stippling it in. Okay, I zoomed you guys in. Let's go ahead and start putting this on. I'm using the Sonia G Base 1 brush. See that I have a lot of brush strokes. So I'm going to go ahead and take my sponge, pick up the rest that's on the back of my hand, and go in and just kind of really push it into the skin. Okay, so that is one side finished. So I'm gonna grab a little bit more and I'm gonna go on this side and work that in. Get probably a decent medium coverage with a brush. With a sponge only, I feel like I get about a light to medium. So you definitely get a little bit lighter coverage with a sponge only. Okay, so this is what one layer looks like. I'm gonna add just a little bit more coverage, just basically over my redness, because I would say this is a light to medium coverage. I would not call this a full medium coverage foundation personally, but we're gonna build it up just a little bit. So I'm gonna take a little bit more on the back of my hand and just kind of go over top of the places that I want a little bit more coverage. Why, but with a sponge it doesn't look as good over my texture as it does with a brush. It seems like a brush just, it goes over the texture so much better. I don't know why, but so I just got done fully applying it and I think it looks really, really pretty. It does have a really pretty finish and it gives a nice glow to the skin without looking kind of dewy. Now, don't get me wrong, I am sitting in front of lights, so my skin will reflect more than it will, you know, for those of you at home or you're just getting ready in your bathroom. The lights in, you know, the beauty room are a little bit different, and so the skin will reflect more so than it would in just regular lighting. But I think this looks very healthy. It looks very beautiful, and so far I like it. So far I like the way that it looks. I like the way, how natural it feels, and you know, I think it looks really good. So right now it is currently 9:43. It is 9:43 in the morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here, finish the rest of my makeup. I will come back and do kind of a midday check-in, show you guys how this is looking. I will also come back and do a 12, probably a 13-hour check-in since I'm starting so early, but we'll just see how the day goes. I will see you guys in my next check-in. Okay, everyone, I am back for a midday check-in. I went up and ran some errands. I had to go to the post office, and I took my dog with me. I'm not sure if you can see her back there. Right there. She is dirty. I need to get her in the groomers, but since COVID happened, she hasn't been in the groomers. So I went to the gas station because I haven't been to the gas station for a minute, and I have not had mini tacos for 2.5 months. Yeah, 2.5 months. So I grabbed me some mini tacos because these things are so good. I love mini tacos. Oh, they are so good. I know, I'm a nut. I also picked up 3 big hunks because I love big hunks. I'm telling you, it's the little things in life. And I picked up a root beer. I have not had a soda in probably a year, and I'm just in the mood to have a soda. So I grabbed me a root beer. So it's currently 4:30 almost. So I've had the foundation on, what, 6 or 7 hours? I will get into how I feel about it, you know, later on tonight during my final thoughts, but I wanted to just come on camera and show you guys what it looks like in natural daylight. Maybe do, you know, some up close images so you guys can see, you know, how it's wearing and all of that. So let's go ahead and zoom you guys in. I hope that that footage was helpful for you guys, just so you guys can see what it looks like. Like I said, during my final thoughts, I will get into my full opinion on the foundation, so I will see you guys then. Hey everyone, I am back to give my full final thoughts on the foundation. So it is currently 9:30. So I've officially had this on for almost 12 hours. I'm only a few minutes shy of 12 hours. I like this foundation. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. This is a type of foundation. It's a neo nude. It's exactly what it is. It's a more of a nude foundation. It's a light medium coverage. It's not one that I would recommend building too far because, like I said during the application, for me personally, I haven't watched any reviews on it because I kind of try to keep my opinion my own when I'm reviewing products. So I normally stop myself from watching other reviews. So I don't know if I'm the only one experiencing this, but I feel like for me personally, every time I've applied this with a sponge, it just doesn't look the best over my texture. It looks the best over texture with a brush. So this is a foundation that is a light medium coverage. It is just for one of those light makeup days where you're not going to be wearing a lot of makeup. You just want to kind of put something on the skin, even out your skin tone, and just having a very lightweight makeup day. If you have enlarged pores, I don't know that this is going to be one that I would choose personally. Every single day that I've worn this, I have to go over my pores right here in this area with the Fenty Beauty Blendiful. So I will go into my powder like this and press it over top of those areas just to get rid of my pores. I have a lot of issues going on with my skin, but enlarged pores is not really one of them. So if you have issues with enlarged pores, I don't know that I would pick this one. I'm not sure why it makes my pores come out. Like, they come out to play with this foundation. But I think it's a really beautiful foundation. I don't think it's going to work for everybody. I think it's going to be a hit and miss. But I also will say the $40 price tag is a pretty decent price tag for when it comes to Giorgio Armani. Giorgio Armani is a higher end brand. The 8th ingredient in this foundation is alcohol. I don't know if this is happening to everybody else, but I feel dry by the end of the night. Now, I have some foundations that have alcohol in it and they don't dry me out. This one, for some reason, does. It makes me feel a little bit dry. So over the weekend, I wasn't wearing much makeup. I would put this on and I wasn't even powdering. I would put a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury powder here, but none of my Hourglass setting powder all over the face, and I still felt dry. And that's interesting because, as you know, I have fallen madly in love with the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation, but the 5th ingredient in this foundation is alcohol, and this doesn't dry me out. This actually stays really healthy and really radiant all throughout the day. So I don't know. I'm not sure why I feel dry by the end of the night, but like I feel like my forehead gets really tight and like right around my jawline, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I feel really dry. So keep that in mind. If you are more of a dry skin, I would not powder this at all. I'm just going to say this so it makes it a little bit easier. On a scale from 1 to 5, I would give it about a 4. I'm not going to give it a full 5 because it just didn't really blow me away. I think it's a beautiful foundation. I don't think it's going to work for everybody, but I do think it's a pretty foundation. I personally still love this one more. I just bought me a new shade. This one is in Golden Sun. I was wearing shade 90 and it was a little too dark, so I got shade 80 and it matches me perfectly. So a couple of days ago, I had announced on my Instagram that I was going to be reviewing this foundation. I had a few subscribers reach out to me and say, let me know if it slips and slides all over your skin because it slips all day and I can't keep it on. I have not had that experience. I don't know if it's the alcohol reacting with my skin. I will say I did apply it with a brush and a sponge today, but I do think applying this with your fingers is the best results. Personally, I can't do foundation with my hands. I can't. If you can, I would recommend trying this with your fingers first. So over the weekend, I kind of applied it like I did a moisturizer. I just kind of like started rubbing it and buffing it into the skin, and it looked so beautiful. And the warmth of my hands just really melted it into the skin. No, I'm going to pull you guys a little bit closer, and I haven't shaved my face. So you guys know I shaved my face. I have not shaved the peach fuzz on my face for probably about 2 weeks. And I've noticed that this is kind of clinging to that. And I don't know if it's that whole dryness, you know, like I start to kind of feel dry by the end of the night. Of course, it starts to wear off around here, but I will say because this doesn't slip and slide on me, it lasts a pretty decent while. I mean, it's been 12 hours and it looks pretty decent. So this is just kind of it's a pretty foundation. I don't feel like it's anything revolutionary. It's not anything that we don't already have out on the market, especially even in, you know, the drugstore category. I don't think this foundation is unique in any way, but I think it's a pretty foundation. It's not my top favorite, but I do think it's a pretty foundation. But I do think there's a lot of foundations on the market that are very similar to it. Now, of course, I don't think there's anything in the Armani Beauty line that's like this. So if you really like Armani Beauty and you like that more natural, fresh looking skin with like a light medium coverage, then you will love this. But if you're like me and you don't really care if it's Giorgio Armani or whatever brand it is, because I really don't care, you're just looking for a really good foundation, I kind of feel like you probably already have this in your collection. There's several foundations out on the market that are very, very similar to this. So keep all of that in mind when you're, you know, considering buying it. All right, well, that was a mouthful. Let's pull you guys in. I'm testing out a new mascara and a new concealer today, and it was just not a good combination. And my mascara has just fell all over all day long. It's been awful. And anyway, and I've had a really bad day because my son left today. I had to drop him off at the airport way early this morning. I've been up since 5 and I am exhausted, and my under eyes are just really, really wrinkly. I didn't get any sleep and I cried all morning. So my under eyes are just ridiculous. They look really bad. You know how that is. I need to go put some of my Good Molecule eye patches on and get them all back healthy again. I gotta stop bawling. That's my problem. I just gotta stop bawling like a stupid baby. For hell's sake, Tara, it's ridiculous. Okay, let's look at the foundation 12 hours later. As you can see, I'm not dewy at all. I am not shiny. I have not applied any powder. The only powder I put on today was right here. I did not set my face with Hourglass powder today. You guys know I like to use a little bit of powder. I like to kind of buff out this line. I didn't do that today. I didn't want to put any powder over top of the foundation. I just put some right over my pores because they looked ridiculous because of the foundation. But I am not shiny at all. I mean, not even a little bit. This is not a dewy foundation for me. Can you guys see where it's kind of looking like it's peeling right through here? See it close to my hairline? I hope it's showing up. I can't tell because my monitor's over here. But if you can see, it's kind of patching right here. It's dry and it looks pretty good over my wrinkles. I wouldn't say it looks heavy through here at all. It's definitely starting to wear down. And I would say probably around the 8 to 10 hour mark is for me personally when it starts to kind of break down. But other than that, I mean, I think it looks pretty good for being 12 hours. Let us know in the comments down below if you guys have this foundation and how you're liking it. Do you love it? Do you like it? What's your skin type? What is your experience so far? This is only just my opinion. Your guys' opinion counts just as much as mine does. And your comments are just as important as mine. So definitely share with us below how you guys are liking this foundation. But so far, I like it, but I'm not like in love with it. I do, you know, I have other foundations that I just absolutely love. And this one, I'm just kind of like, it's really pretty, but I don't love it, if that makes sense. I hope this review was helpful for you guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me in today's video. Don't forget to come right back here tomorrow. I'm going to be giving you guys my full review of the new Tarte. This is called the Hydrocealer Concealer. So come right back here tomorrow for that review. I love you all so, so much. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Love you all. Bye.